Hi, guess what we have for you today? Are you hosting a holiday party? Or are you going to a party or a get together or a family gathering and you are responsible for bringing a dish and you don't know what to make? This video is for you. So we have a cute, fun little appetizer party food, or even if you want to eat it just because, that is perfect for the holidays or a bridal shower, baby shower, a brunch, a tea party, anything like that. And it's so easy and it only requires 6 ingredients. Are you ready for this? Let me get my stuff. Let me grab an apron and wash my hands and we'll get busy. Let's go. Okay guys, I know the lighting is not good right here. I cannot fix it. I'm sorry, I apologize. Don't hate me. And the more I try to fix it, the worse it gets. So I stopped touching it. This is all you need for these cute little appetizers. You're gonna need some puff pastry. This is what I got. I used one of these already in the chicken pot pie video. I can link that down below if anyone is interested in that, because it's two in a box. So I'm gonna use the other one for this. You need some provolone cheese, some turkey, and I use this carving board one, but you use whatever kind you want. It needs to be somewhat thick slices. Then you need some pesto, just regular old jarred pesto. I just got the classic, not the creamy one. The grape tomatoes and some fresh basil. And that's all the ingredients that you need. And then you need some fun little toothpicks and a little cutting board to cut the puff pastry and the cheese with. And that's all you need. So you're going to bake the puff pastry. I already have the oven preheated. So let's go ahead and cut this out and get it going in the oven. And while it bakes, we will prep the other stuff. All right, so here is the other puff pastry from the box, and it's thawed. You're gonna preheat the oven to 400 degrees, and then you're gonna cut this apart. You should be able to cut it into, I think it says 36 sections. Try not to break it here. Here we go. Get the papers. All right, so there's no real rhyme or reason to it. You're just gonna cut these into squares, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use a pizza cutter to get nice clean cuts. You can use a knife if you want to, however you wanna do it. And then I'm gonna cut each of these sections into thirds as best as I can. I'm just gonna eyeball it. It doesn't have to be completely straight. You'll see when we bake them. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut it in half. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut these into thirds as well. So that you're gonna end up with a whole bunch of little bitty squares. This is actually gonna be more than 36. 36 might even be right. I'm just trying to remember what the recipe said without looking at it. And some are gonna be bigger than others, and that's fine. But roughly, you're just gonna cut them in squares like this, and then you're just gonna spread them apart so they don't stick to each other while they bake. The oven is already at 400, so I don't need to wait on that. And then we're gonna bake these just like this, and they're gonna just puff up into little puffy squares. And then we're gonna separate them out and build them like little sandwiches with the turkey, the cheese, and the pesto. And you'll see. 15 minutes, according to the recipe for this pinwheel on the back of the box. So I'm just gonna start with 10 and then check them. So now, while we wait on those to bake, we're gonna go ahead and get this turkey and these cheeses prepped and ready to go, so that when those come out of the oven, all we have to do is build them. My brother-in-law, Jason's brother, got married last year, and so his sister and I threw a bridal shower for his fiance, now wife. And we had these at the bridal shower and they were a hit. Not just with the ladies that came, but also Jason and his dad. They were helping us set up for the shower before everyone got here. And they were taste testing these and they loved them. So what we're gonna do is, see, this is the turkey. It's kind of a thick slice of turkey. It's not like your typical lunch meat. So you could get this, or you could go to the deli and get some, however you wanna do it. But it needs to be somewhat substantial piece of meat in this little puff pastry. So you're gonna try to just cut them roughly the size of those puff pastries. It doesn't have to be exact, and I'm still using the same pizza cutter. It's not raw meat, so it doesn't matter. And get a plate. Put the turkey over here. So that you have a little piece of turkey like this. Is what you're going for. I'm going to do the same thing with the cheese. This cheese I got at Sam's. You probably saw it on a previous grocery haul, where I just grabbed some because we were going to have sub sandwiches for dinner that night. I just grabbed a stack. I don't really count. And you're gonna do the same thing. Just gonna cut it. Like I said, so easy. It's not hard at all. Then we're gonna wash these and cut them in half and wash this basil. It smells so good. I love basil. This is organic, so there shouldn't be any pesticides, but I'm still gonna wash it, you know, dirt. You don't want it to be wet. It needs to be dry. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the little leaves off. Like this. We just want the little leaves. Okay. You're just gonna cut them in half lengthwise, like this. Take one, like that. That's how you cut them. Okay, 10 minutes is up. Let's see what they look like. Almost, but not quite. It's gonna go for a couple more minutes. 3 minutes. So now this is 13 minutes in the oven. Maybe 15 minutes is correct. Okay. They're coming out. Yeah, see, they're starting to get a little brown around the edges here. But I don't want to tempt it any further. See, they're brown on the bottom. That's good. Turn that off. I'm going to put these on this plate and take it over there, and we will assemble them. Okay, so we've got our little puff pastry squares, our turkey, cheese. The tomatoes are all cut and ready. I got my basil over here drying in this paper towel, blotting. And then we've got the pesto. And I'm going to assemble them here on this little plate. Gotta open our pesto. a little oily. I am not a pesto person. I don't really care for pesto. I don't want it to just be pasta and pesto. It's something about the texture, I guess, or the oil. It's like a slime. I can't. I'm just not. I know that's weird to some people, but I love basil and I love these little things. So this is the first time I've tried this brand. The one we used for the bridal shower was I think it was the Classico brand. It was a little shorter, rounder jar. I believe it was Classico brand, because that was all I could find at the time. So how you build them is this. You take a little puff square and you see they're kind of puffy. So you just, wherever it naturally comes apart, you just pull it apart like that. Put just a little bit of pesto on it. Not a lot. Just a tiny bit. You're gonna put, let's see, a piece of turkey and a piece of cheese. Put the top back on it. And then you're gonna put, look, here's a little basil leaf on top. And then you're gonna put a little tomato on top. That basil leaf's not really big enough. It was a baby one. Put a little basil leaf. There we go. And the little tomato. And then you're gonna get a toothpick. I got these at Kroger. They're just some little bamboo ones. They have a cute little knot at the top. You can do whatever kind you want. If you wanna use the little frilly cellophane ones, or you know, some specialty one that matches like the theme of your party or shower or whatever, you do what you want. But it needs to be tall enough to stick through like that. And then there's your little appetizer. Look how cute. See? And then you can put them on a pretty little platter, and then all the guests have to do is pick them up and pop them in their mouths. So I'm gonna finish building these and I'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. There it is. This is not all that it made. This is just all that will fit on my little platter here. So you can make them up, stick them in like a little shallow, like maybe Tupperware container or something like this, and then you can refill your platter as you're serving them. I did want to point out that these tomatoes, I could not get any smaller ones. A few of them were small in the package, but most of them were really big like this. So if you cannot find the smaller of the grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, whatever you can find, you can always cut them in half like this, and then take the half, and I cut it an X in it to cut the half into fourths. So it would be an eighth, and I did it like this. So these have like an eighth of a tomato on top. So you can do it either way. If you can find them little like this, then great. If you can't, then cut them down. So this is what they look like. I am probably going to make these for Christmas when my family gets together. I think the red and green together is so cute, so Christmassy, and they are so yummy. It doesn't feel like you're eating a bite of air with it being a puff pastry, because you have the substantial, you know, meat in there. So, and then your guests can just pick it up, put it on their plate, and pop it into their mouth just like this. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope those are a hit when you make them. I hope you try them. I hope it helps you make something easy to take somewhere if you need to take a dish, or if you're hosting something, it'll be an easy, inexpensive little treat that everyone will really love. Even if you don't like pesto, trust me, I don't like pesto and I love these. So I'm gonna go snack on these, and you guys have a great day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye y'all.